guys, and welcome once again to my channel. I go by the name of Fire Prime, and I'd like to welcome you guys once again to my channel. For those of you who are new, I don't think you've missed much. Things are just about to get a lot more interesting. If you've missed quite a number of videos, you could always go to the main channel, or you can go to the channel and watch the rest of the video, or the videos from previous times, and look out for new ones. But again, for those who are joining for the first time, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, and again, also click on the notification bell so you're notified when new videos come up. On today's episode, it's a couple of weeks back, if you guys remember, I posted a video about my first vlog for the year 2022, and in it I mentioned a certain gentleman on paying rough, get head, okay, and it's by name Prof. George Manfo. I don't know if he still would allow me to call him Prof. George, but whatever it is. So today, in the previous video, he still remains Prof. But on that episode, we traveled to Tsito in the Tsito region, and there was an exercise, or more of an educational exercise, which involved teaching natives or constituents in that, teaching people or the youth and a few older, the older generation, some IT skills. And George was one of the brains behind it. If he wasn't the main, we'll get him to tell us about it. But a little background on how I met George. So we met in the year 2019 in London, where we were pursuing our masters. I pursued a master's in systems and cybersecurity. I don't know if that is important right now. And I'm not even going to say much about him, but at that point, I just want to give a brief introduction. At that point, just before I came back to Ghana, he had mentioned that he was thinking of doing something to help the country, or something to help the youth in the country, and which led to the birth of Fixed Byte. And Fixed Byte was the reason why I ended up in Tsito, in the Tsito region. So today, and I remember I told you guys that I was going to get him, I was going to try and get him to talk about, or interview him to tell us a bit about himself, and then Fixed Byte. And the rest will be for him to say. So on that note, let me introduce to you Prof. George Manfo. He's yeah, you see his face, Prof, but he's well rough. So Prof.
Yes, boss.
I started off by telling viewers about how we met. There are quite a number of stories that we can talk about, but today is more of a Fixed Byte. And the question I want to ask is, who or what is Fixed Byte?
Thanks very much. Anytime I want to answer a question with regards to Fixed Byte, it comes back to the Ghanaian society and how we approach maybe something around technology. So we both studied in the UK, like you mentioned earlier on, and whilst we were studying, we realized that the approach to education was a bit different, and not just different, it was really efficient. So Fixed Byte was something that we wanted to do to also help people get into technology, and not just give them the skills, but also give them work experience, and they get that culture when it comes to learning or doing stuff in technology. So that's how Fixed Byte came about.
Having heard about how Fixed Byte started, the initial stages, I remember you asked, that was again before I came back, I remember you asked me if I thought it was going to succeed. And if I remember, or if my memory serves me right, it was something that you started online.
Yeah.
I think you started with some tutorials on YouTube, and so give us a brief, a breakdown on what, or maybe something brief about what it is you started with, and probably what led to Fixed Byte coming to Ghana, maybe when exactly, if that works.
Okay, so back in the UK again, I'm more of an educator. So basically, I like teaching, and because of that, say I would want to call it gift. Um, I always realize that there's something I could do to help people or impact in their lives. But the challenge was the medium. So when I started going to schools and all that in the UK. So as an ambassador, STEM ambassador, engineering ambassador. Then I realized that I was just getting a few audience. So I decided to do something online. And that was not really what I wanted to do, because then people were joining from various places and you couldn't even keep track of who is doing what. So fast forward, we decided to put out some kind of program, so where you train people online, and we decided to give people training on maybe programming, network engineering, cybersecurity, web development. Then in the middle of all these things, I decided, like you mentioned earlier on about the business, the company, I decided to formally create a company that would have everything and also include services as well. So I'll say with Fixed Byte, it started from teaching, just teaching people. We started teaching people, and then we decided to create a company to help people as well.
So since you came back to Ghana, if I may ask, like, where has Fixed Byte gone so far? Was Tsito the first place, or like you guys go other places, and what did the response like?
At the beginning, even though we started, like I mentioned earlier, was about training, but that was not the initial idea. The idea was to start a company that would be providing services to a high standard. But also another thing that we were much focused on was to getting in-house people, so people from Ghana. But the challenge that we realized was that in Ghana, you don't really get people who understand the IT culture. So we were shocked when we first came in. We had to do events, even though the event was supposed to be more like talent acquisition. We ended up doing training, and we did that in tech, so KUST, and that was how we started Tech Hub, where we go around and train people and then get the best brains. Like, well, if I'm allowed to say this, like the way the sports academies run their system, they go around, get talents, and then they put them into an academy. So that's what we did. We went around, went to tech, we got a few students who were really good, and we decided to bring them on board Fixed Byte and train them to a higher standard. So we call that Tech Hub Massive. Then the one we went to, say, hold together, Whole West, it was a collaboration between ourselves and the Member of Parliament in Whole West, Honorable Emmanuel Bedra. And he, honestly, he's been so helpful to us and also to his community when it comes to this area. I think he is also part, I may be wrong, but as at the time, he is kind of one person who is part of the IT or ICT something in Parliament. So it's a committee that seeks to champion ICT in Ghana, but for Parliament as well. So we did Tech Hub Whole West, and that was how the second one came about. Then, apart from Tech Hub Whole West, which is the Tech Hub program under Fixed Byte, we also have the Tech Woman, where we try to empower women. But the challenge is, because Fixed Byte started with men, we tried as much as possible to bring women into the space, and then we allowed them to explore. So all we did was we just tried to give them that bridge so that they'll be able to do stuff on their own. But we want them to be able to stay competitive among their peers. So we had Fixed Byte Tech Woman, and Fixed Byte Tech Woman has people coming from the outside, so US, UK, who are more like role models, and at the same time are people who are trying to also encourage the young ones to get into tech as well. Then there is a new one which is just started. It started with a school in Accra. We were not supposed to come to Accra now, but something happened and we had to come to Accra. And it's something to do with helping teachers in Ghana. I went to the educational sector when I visited, because as part of what we do, we want to do research and understand how we can grow IT in Ghana and Africa. So we went to Whole West. We realized that even though we keep complaining that students are not able to get what IT is, it wasn't the problem. The problem was at the top. It was with the teachers. So they cannot even teach it.
Yeah.
They don't have the skill set. So I realized that we came back to Accra. I called my auntie, who fortunately or unfortunately is also in education. She's teaching in Accra. So I spoke to her and she said, "Oh, forget about it. I don't even want to teach it." And I said, "No, you have to teach it because it's changing worlds now." So we went to their school and we decided to come up with a program for teachers where we train teachers to also get a training. So currently what we're doing is if let's say you're a teacher and you're going to teach something in IT, you just send us a message. We have a schedule and then we kind of do some preparation with you. We give you some brief about what you want to teach, that particular topic, and you go in the next day and you teach it. So we record a session for you, but also we give you some kind of tips to look out for, then you teach your class. Now, we're using students to do this, university students who are doing computer science and all that. So we're giving them real world experience as well. You would want your students to have confidence and speak in front of public, and this is one way for them to do that.
I understand. I mean, like, speaking of confidence, when I got to South Bank, I realized how difficult not difficult per se, but how different it was. Like the whole educational structure was different. First of all, I got in 2 weeks late, and class had already started. They had covered so much, and so in class, when I sat down, like when I entered my first class, I could hear that. Oh, I knew that the class was English was being spoken, and then I was looking at what was being taught, and so the first class was a bit okay. The second class, again, English was being spoken, but I got lost to the point that I had to record whatever was being said, and then I WhatsApped it to some friends in Ghana to tell me or to confirm that it was English. I don't know if at that point in my head we died, but there was this level of intimidation, and so this intimidation that I just brought up brings me to takes me back to Tsito when we had that 14-year-old, yes, that little girl who did amazing and sort of caught the eyes of the various members of parliament who were there, including the founder, or the owner of Tsito, yes. Which leads me to my next question. What is next for Fixed Byte? Having had this challenge thrown on back to you.
Fixed Byte, you see, again, for me, I'm a problem solver. So at the beginning, we were going a certain direction, but we realized that we couldn't go that direction. Imagine you come to Ghana and you want to do artificial intelligence. It doesn't make any sense. Because artificial intelligence in Ghana, first of all, what infrastructure do you have? Do you even have internet facilities? What kind of product are you looking at? Do you even have the data to support it? So we want to build a base. So currently, we have a partnership which we're still working around with Tsito to do stuff around Ghana, massive stuff. We don't like the media publicity because we are an IT company, we can do stuff on our own. But we're going across Ghana. Also, we're coming up with boot camps. So for me, you know how I do my stuff. Whenever I want to learn something, I want to make sure I learn it and then use it for something. So with our boot camps, it's not like a regular training thing that you come in and you pay money and go. Sure. First of all, you could have your money, but you will not be allowed onto our boot camp. Okay. Because our boot camp can only take 10 people at a time. Okay. And for each person, we want to make sure that each person is going home with their answers, with their questions answered. So 10 people, we have instructors, we have facilitators who go around to get a personal relationship with our learners. And at the end of the day, once you go through the 3 months program, you should be in that position to work with Fixed Byte for a month. Now, if I say work with Fixed Byte, to that standard where you can represent Fixed Byte anywhere. So our boot camps is one. So boot camps, we started with web development, network engineering, with cybersecurity. Also, there are certain things that we wouldn't want to talk about into details, but we're working around some corporate training as well with big organizations. There is something we try to do. It's still at the initial stages, but possibly it will happen. So with University of Ghana Learning Center, Tsito, sure, where we had our events. I never knew there's this big space in Volta region like that for University of Ghana. So we're planning. We'll see how it goes. So so the boot camps are one. Our office, our personal private office is also coming up. It's shaping up very well. So it's going to be a space, even though it's an office, it's a space where you come in, you don't want to go home.
Okay.
So you come in, you work, even if you come in for training, you train yourself, you stay there until you're done, you're not going home. So when I say until you're done, if it's 3 months and you're paying an amount, you want to make sure that you go home with the knowledge. It's like military. When you go for military training, you cannot say, oh, my auntie's sick, you're going back home. No.
Yeah.
You stay there till you finish. There's a reason why we're coming up with these structures, because there's a lot of distractions in our system. I've met a lot of people in traffic and they speak to me about IT. Oh, I did IT in the past. You cannot tell me you did IT in the past, whilst IT is a thing now. So we want to make sure that we remove all the distractions. That's why we have our own space.
Okay. So that said, what do you have? I mean, like we gradually coming to the end of this interview. But that said, what do you have to tell Ghanaians, that is those who probably don't make it to your boot camp or your physical trainings that you organize? Is there any way that Ghanaians or like students out there, the youth, is there any way that they can benefit from?
Oh yeah.
Fixed Byte?
So Fixed Byte will be coming to almost every school in every region, because as I speak to you now, we're trying to get not just in Ghana, in Uganda. So we're doing something in Uganda soon, Kenya and Nigeria. But what I'll tell the kids out there is that Fixed Byte will definitely be in your schools, like clubs or after school clubs. So maybe after they vacate, we want to make sure that before you leave secondary school, you have an option. Because if I had known what I know now, I don't think I'll even spend so much money finishing University of Ghana, going to the UK to do schooling again and all that. That's a lot of money. Let's forget about Ghana, but just UK, even 1 year in the UK, it's a lot of money.
Hey, big boy.
Oh no, it goes. So it's just a lot of money, and then imagine we can give them the opportunity. So we'll hunt for talent. Definitely, some of them would have the opportunity to even work with Fixed Byte when they are still young, after secondary school, instead of going to university. Even if you don't know what to do in university, we give you the idea, choose what you want to learn. We bring you on board, then you go to school. Maybe you do distance education or something, but then you still be working with Fixed Byte. So Fixed Byte will take care of your education or something, but you will be working with Fixed Byte. So our boot camps are just for a class of people. So when I say class of, it's just for people who would want that energy. There are people who don't like that energy. They want a relaxed environment. Those ones will also get their choice and their chance sometime. And yes, there's a lot of things that are coming up for Fixed Byte across the country.
Is Fixed Byte ready, or are you ready?
Well, the question will be, is Ghana ready? Because for some of us, for me to come back to Ghana, for me to come to Ghana 3 months, 2 times in 3 months, there should be a reason behind it. It doesn't make any economic sense if you're not making money. So it should be a question of, is Ghana ready? Are they able to understand what we're trying to do? And I think yes. Even if Ghana is not ready, Africa is ready.
Sure. That's a good one. So, last thing, you earlier mentioned, or I think I mentioned that you have started some YouTube trainings. And what fields are you are taught, or like what do you teach on your YouTube channel? And if you don't mind, like mentioning the channel name. I mean, obviously, I'm going to put that in the description somewhere down there or up there. I don't know, but it would be there somewhere. So just look out for it. Yeah.
Okay, so the YouTube channel, currently, the materials or resources we have there are more towards network engineering. Okay. That was something I do for fun. So the channel was supposed to be something that we'll be doing web development, app development, but since the inception of Fixed Byte, we run a lot of online programs during the weekend, so machine learning and web development. And some of the videos are recorded on websites, so on YouTube channels of the resource persons. Okay. So it may not be just my YouTube channel. There are other YouTube channels that are part of this whole idea.
Okay.
And again, unless you put their channels as well.
Okay.
But yes, we have machine learning and Python. So for people who would want to learn programming, we have resources for that. So we have network engineering, we have web development, which is coming back again because I'm in Ghana. But once I get there, web development is coming back again. Okay. And apart from that, one of my favorite, which is cybersecurity, will definitely come in. So very soon, It wouldn't be just the YouTube channel, it would be also a website. We have a website coming up soon, which is supposed to be for people who want to learn technology but don't really have a direction.
Okay. But for the time being, I'm guessing they could
YouTube
still visit the website to see what other information they can
Or so even if it's not a website, go to our LinkedIn page, Fixed Byte. You see what we're doing, including our internships. Anyone is free to apply for internships. It doesn't matter where you are in Africa.
Okay. So folks, there you have it, Prof. George Bamford. There's still so much that I have to learn from him. He's very scarce, and I don't know how long you've been in Ghana for quite a while.
This is the longest.
Yeah, this is the longest. And the first time we came, we didn't meet. This time round, how many times have we met? This should be the third time, I guess.
Yeah, in the last 1 month. Yeah.
In the last 1 month. I mean, it's not bad. So, I mean, we're looking forward to having you again. And hopefully, Fixed Byte shoots up there. I mean, I know it's going to be. The question now is, are Ghanaians ready? Africa might be ready, or Africa is ready. Are Ghanaians ready?
So I think we need that forum, like that conversation. I had a conversation with the CEO of Tsito, and I was telling him that in order for us to push this IT agenda, we need to have a conversation to understand why IT is important, to understand that IT can bring in more money than gold and cocoa. So for Ghana to be ready, I think Ghana will have to understand why we need IT.
Okay.
I've seen bits and pieces of digitalization and all that, but it's like you cannot jump it. You need to first of all train people, otherwise it's still the same old story. We need to. That's the problem we have as Fixed Byte. We came in, we wanted to do stuff, and realized that the challenge is with the people. We don't have the resources. People will say they do IT, but IT comes with the culture. You cannot just learn one thing and be done. It's a continuous process.
Okay.
So yes, Ghana is ready.
Alright. What would be your advice for Ghanaians?
Well, last words. I think that you should be more daring and also not see the technology space as just a career or a profession. You should also see it as a way of life. Because one thing that I've noticed is that it doesn't just give you a career option, it also trains you as a person. It gives you some kind of confidence. It also brings out the best in you. It makes you a learner for life. So with this particular space, you notice that everything keeps evolving fast. So technology keeps changing. So there should be people who would want to learn every day, also have that discipline, keep pushing. And one thing I always advise people is that you need to have a steady body. IT is not like any other thing where you can learn alone. You don't need to be selfish. You need to be selfless. So if you know something small, you need to learn to share. How? By teaching it. So the more you teach it, the better you become. It could be just something small. You just call a few kids. You say, okay, let me teach you this. You end up learning more by teaching it, because then they'll ask you a question, you have to go and prepare and come back. But the little you have is enough to start from somewhere. So yes, that's my advice to you. And then yes, there's a lot of opportunities out there, and there's a lot of companies evolving now. So you could get a job as soon as you get your head around something basic.
Yeah. So viewers, there you have it. Prof. George has said it all. I mean, he said something about opportunities out there that I feel would be a topic for another discussion, because if we want to talk about all of these things, or all the things that George has to say, we're not going to leave here. But that said, I would say it's been a pleasure having George here with us, giving us insight on Fixed Byte and what it has to offer to Ghanaians and Africa at large. And I would want to urge each and every one of you, those of you who feel that, okay, IT is a place for you to, or an environment for you to jump into, feel free and visit the website. I'll put the link in the description below, or probably somewhere up there. Just be on the lookout for it. So then I would say that, again, I'll remind those of you who haven't subscribed yet, do subscribe, like and share, and comment. I mean, ask as many questions as you want. And obviously, I know George would be, I could direct those questions to him, and he's going to be on, he's going to watch the video as well. So he can also comment directly. So till our next video, I would say continue to live life, make the most out of whatever environment you find yourself in, and I'll see you in the next video.